Hello friends, my name is Riel. Welcome to my channel and welcome back if you've been here before. I'm so glad you clicked on this video. Today I'm going to be talking about my sobriety journey. Let's get started. It's going to be short and sweet and I hope this encourages you, or if you're sober curious, I hope this encourages you if you're already on your journey. Let's do this thing. I really can't believe I'm here. I'm on like the other side and yeah, let's get started. Okay, we're going to start with why I chose sobriety. I'm sober from gardening as well as alcohol. I've been sober just over a year, going on my second year of not having any alcohol, and I'm 2 months sober from gardening, which I feel like was such a hard habit to quit. Let's just start from the beginning on why I chose sobriety. My relationship with alcohol started during high school, so I was probably like 16 or 15 when I first had alcohol, and I started drinking, house parties with my friends, going out, and that kind of led into my adult life. Like in my early 20s, I was clubbing, I was going out and drinking, and I feel like I didn't really see it as a problem. You know, it's such a big part of our society and culture, and if you're not like drinking every day, you don't see yourself as an alcoholic, so it's like, why even question it? It's like, oh, I'm going out, so drinking. So I honestly never really thought it was much of an issue until I started living alone in my early 20s, like 23 or 24, and I started buying a bottle of wine like every night or every other night, and that's when I recognized like, okay, this is a problem, and how I was not able to sit with myself. I wasn't able to be alone without drinking or without having alcohol. And so that's when I recognized that it was a problem and something that I probably should look more into. With all that being said, alcohol never really brought out the best in me. I've made terrible decisions under the influence. I've made decisions that I regret, decisions that I'm ashamed of. I feel like I always the next day like regretted or felt not good. And as I'm getting older, I'm 29 now, as I've been pursuing a more healthy lifestyle, I've been pursuing health and wellness, I recognize that this was something that didn't really live up to this new path that I was going along. A more healthy lifestyle, healing and wellness and all these things. And so a few years ago, I remember thinking like, okay, I really want to give up alcohol. It's not really healthy. It's ruining my health more than adding value to my health. And so the first approach I took was just kind of looking at my life, looking at what do I need to let go of? And one thing was my friendships, some friendships that I had a group of friends and a lot of friends where that's kind of all we did when we hung out. We would drink, or you know, that was like the cornerstone of our relationship. So when we went out, we would drink, or we would only hang out if there was alcohol involved. And so I knew that if I just changed my environment, if I let go of those friendships, that would be one less thing I had to worry about. And so that was kind of the first approach I took into being sober. I let go of friendships that I felt like were no longer aligned. And when I let go of those friendships, honestly, I just stopped drinking. I did. It was so easy because I felt like wanted friendships that had deeper, where we connected deeper, where we were able to connect. I feel like you're not really able to connect if you're drunk or if you're under the influence. So I was craving friendships that were deeper, that we could get on a deeper level. And so giving up friendships where alcohol was the main thing made sobriety such an easier pursuit. Yeah, I felt like I got to a place where I just wanted to be honest with myself. Like I was running away from so much. I wasn't comfortable being alone because there was so much pain, there was so much trauma that I wasn't ready to address. So alcohol would help me numb those emotions, will help me escape myself. And as I was pursuing health and wellness and just healing, I realized that I needed to let go of it. And so here we are, a year and almost a half later, I've been sober, and I will say it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. I feel really good. I feel like I'm okay with being alone. I'm able to face my emotions. I'm able to face myself without having to run away from myself, without having to turn to a substance to feel more comfortable. I felt like I would give the excuse that, like, you know, alcohol, it makes you a little more loose. You're able to feel more more relaxed, or whatever the case may be. And I've been out, I've been dancing, I've been out with friends since then, and I feel like I have way more fun. I dance more, I'm more alive, I'm more myself, and learning to recognize that you can be yourself. I thought that I was more fun with alcohol, but I feel like I'm way more fun just being sober, and alcohol really did not bring out the best in me. I realized alcohol was definitely a coping mechanism. It was something that I used to cope with everything that I went through in life, and not ready to face it. But you can only run away for so long, and I was just getting to a place where I didn't want to run it anymore. I wanted to be okay with myself. I wanted to be okay with being in my apartment by myself and not feeling like I need to go to a substance to feel more comfortable. Like, I didn't want to turn to anything and just be okay with myself. And that takes a lot of work. It takes you being honest with yourself. It takes you facing trauma, facing decisions, facing every ugly part of yourself and not running away. And it's hard and it's painful, but you come out on the other side feeling more like yourself, feeling more grounded, feeling more at peace. You're not running, you're not ashamed. And yeah, I feel so much better. I feel so much grounded. My friendships are beautiful. I have friends that where we don't need to have alcohol, we don't need to have any kind of substance to get together, and our relationships are just deeper and more beautiful, and I feel more aligned and I feel healthy. That is why I chose to be sober. And when it comes to gardening, smoking, that is a habit that I've done for the past few years, and I knew, so when I gave up drinking, I was still smoking, and I felt like, okay, this is also something I want to give up for my own personal reasons, being I really just didn't want to have any substance control me, and I felt like it was really an addiction that felt like it had a hold on me. And first thing I did when I woke up, first thing I did when I went to bed, just something that I turned to every day. And I was also using that to numb myself and to help soothe my emotions. And I was just getting to a place where I really just wanted to be okay, and learning different coping mechanisms and not to numb myself and escape the pain or escape the discomfort, escape the anxiety, and just learning to regulate my emotions, learning to work through my emotions and not run away from my emotions. And so I've been sober from gardening for a month and a half, and it's something that I know that I won't go back to. I feel really good. I feel clear. I feel grounded. I feel, honestly, it's like, I just can't believe that this is the person that I am. I can't believe that something that I no longer struggle with, because it was such a hard habit to quit. I feel like quitting gardening was so much harder than quitting drinking. Being a month and a half sober from gardening, it just feels amazing, because when you do something for so long, it was just a habit that every time I tried to quit, it was just, I would go back to it. And what has helped me stay sober for a month and a half is hobbies. Like running has just saved my life. For real. It has been such a great hobby for me to be able to release my emotions or work through my emotions. I feel like running gives me that outlet to really just clear my mind and work through my emotions. And so that is something I recommend, is make sure that you replace these addictions with other hobbies that are more beneficial for your health. Different hobbies that are not harming you and adding value to your life. And so yeah, running, journaling, just learning to regulate my emotions with everything I have in me and nothing external. It feels really good to know that I don't need anything outside myself to be okay, and that I can find everything within myself, whether it's breath work, journaling, meditation, that I don't need to run away. I don't need to avoid myself. I don't need to hide from myself, and just giving myself so much grace and comfort and love. Like, we're so deserving of that, and we don't need to hide from ourselves or run away from ourselves. And I also want to say that take it one day at a time. I really have been taking everything one day at a time, as well as celebrate. Like, I am big on celebrating. celebrating. So when I hit my 1-year mark of alcohol, I baked myself a cake and I celebrated that moment because it's such a big milestone, and sometimes we forget to celebrate ourselves. When you make it a week, celebrate yourself. When you make it a month, celebrate yourself. Just continue to celebrate yourself on this journey, and also have like-minded friends. Like, find community that's also on this path. I feel like we are so much better together than alone, and so community that is pursuing the same thing as you. You need community. You need friends that are also on this same journey, and that's just been so helpful on my journey. My friendships, my community, sharing your journey with others is also helpful. Like, knowing that you're not alone. There's so many other people that are also wanting to be sober, or so many other people that are struggling with what you're struggling with, and when we voice and we share that with others, you realize you're not alone. On my sobriety journey, I've shared it with friends. I remember making it a month and texting one of my friends, like, she's known I've tried quitting smoking so many times, and so when I made it a month, I'm like, it's been a month, I haven't smoked. And just having someone there to cheer you on, and if you know, cheer yourself on first, but also recognize that you have friends, you have community that also want to cheer you on, and so being vulnerable with the people around you. So yeah, I just wanted to share my sobriety journey. Please let me know where you're at in your journey. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know. Yeah, I would love for this to be a conversation, and I would love to hear from you. And I just wanted this video to be an encouragement for anyone else that's feeling like they want to step into their sobriety journey, or they're interested, sober curious. I wanted this to be an encouragement to know that you can do it, that life gets better. Life gets better, and yeah, you have the strength, you can do it. Yeah, you have an amazing community right here. I'm with you, I support you. Thank you so much for listening. If you made it this far, please comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in another video. Thank you.